Hello, and thank you so very much for joining me today. I go by luneinnate, and what I'm creating for you is a pick a card reading for you to be able to use, specifically for the season of Leo season 2021. However, I would like to consider these timeless at this, at the same time. So if you stumble across this later and it resonates, please don't feel limited or, that you can't use it or watch it just because we're beyond that time frame. Just an invite there. So we're going to give you an option to choose between one of three piles, or if you like, this is kind of the way I like to do it, I like to pick one pile for one area of my life or one theme or one, maybe even I don't want to say conflict, but like something I'm working through potentially. And then another for something else, and another for something else. I really feel like not only the fact that, obviously they're different piles, but that I'm designating which one will be used for what kind of combines the intuition. So it sort of combines the viewer intuition with also the, the cards that are revealed. So if you like to use it that way, I would just encourage you to use a journal, use your notebook, and say, like, food for thought, right? Something to chew on. Career, pile 2 here. What unfolds for that? Does that resonate? And also give yourself some time, because things can unfold through the entire season, right? It might be a theme that comes up for you as we get into it, or it might be something that is validated down the line, right? So I think writing things down is always beneficial if you plan to use it in that kind of way, right? So as we're getting started here, I'm just going to light a candle and talk to you a little bit about Leo season. Now, I'm not an astrologer. I never want to, claim to be one. And, I'm human. Sometimes I misspeak. So I've definitely had people tell me things and I'm like, oh, that's just me misspeaking because I'm human. So, never trust anything 100%. Do your own research, of course. But Leo season runs from July 23rd, sometimes I say July 22nd, but, and check your time zones and stuff like that, but July 23rd to August 23rd. And we have, of course, a full moon and a new moon that you have an opportunity to work with. Now, of course, you don't have to work with the full moon or the new moon or both or neither, or, you can work with waxing and waning. You can work just because you feel called to it. You could not do any of that. But personally, I really do like to write down these dates and give myself time to reflect and set intentions, working specifically with the full and new moon. I don't have a very rigid schedule for myself personally when it comes to my rituals and my intentions, but I do try to stick to this as much as I can because it just really benefits me. Like, I greatly see it. I don't know if any of you have been working with the previous full moon in Capricorn, but that opened so many doors for me because I was working with the intentions of opening doors, and then that hit and I was like, wow, like validated. I'm so grateful. So here we have on July 23rd, which at the time I'm recording this is tomorrow. I'm a little behind. I got my second COVID shot this month and it knocked me out. I was in bed shivering in my sweatsuit with my socks on, with blankets wrapped around me as it's like, nearly 100 degrees outside here in Florida. Shivering, so cold, body aches. I felt sick, like nauseous, sick to my stomach. I had stomach pains, the worst headache. So I was really taken out for a little bit. So I'm running a little behind this one. So I do apologize. I'm sliding through like Indiana Jones here, it feels like. But the full moon tomorrow is in Aquarius. I'm saying tomorrow, but it will have passed probably by the time you see this, or you'll get it right on time if you're in Patreon. And this is such a great full moon to work with. Like, I'm so excited about this. Aquarius has such a lovely, rebellious energy to me. Like I'm gonna be a weirdo and, cool, like if you like it, cool. If not, like whatever, I'm gonna be me, and I really love that. I really love the authenticity that we can work with for this full moon specifically. That's definitely what I'm going to be working with personally. Again, July 23rd, which is a Friday. And then we have the new moon in Leo on August 8th. So this would be a great time for planting seeds, working with themes of Leo. Of course, you can use this however you like to, right? These are just suggestions. This is just me sharing what I plan to do. So, take what resonates, and never pressure here. I never want to come off like I'm talking like I know everything, but things that have to do with the ego, the inner child, the soul, as in like the personality of the soul, the filter, if you will, of the soul. I feel like our souls are, these eternal things that are quite hard to even contemplate in our human experience at this time. But there's a level of soul that shines through our personality, or a soul piece, if you will, that is more connected to what I would call our personality, our purpose, our character here, our interests, our dislikes, our likes, what we want to build, our uniqueness, our leadership, right? So things, again, that have to do with leadership, supporting yourself, and also, perhaps even being a cheerleader for other people. Leo in general is known to be very like egotistical or self-centered, and that's really not the case. Like, Leo people and Leo energy isn't all about the self. It's about everyone's self, like your birthday, happy birthday to you. Oh, you're doing that. Great job. Keep going. Like, it's not just about being like in love with yourself and, doing what's best for you. It's also the encouragement of doing what's right for everyone doing what's right for themselves. And it has a very, like righteous sort of quality to it, of course. So I should say, oh my gosh, I forgot because I had to restart this a few times, but happy birthday, Leo. Happy birthday. My son is a Leo. My dad is a Leo. I've dated many Leos. I've had best friends who are Leos. I'm a Leo rising in the 29th degree, so it's a little bit weird for me, but happy birthday, Leos. I love you. I'm so sorry it took me like 5 minutes, 6 minutes into this to say happy birthday to you, but I just wanted to, of course, say happy birthday, Leo. The sun is home now. The sun is home in Leo. It's a great season for everyone, if it feels usually pretty empowered, pretty comfortable for the most part. I know 2020 and 2021 are a little rocky, of course, more so maybe than ever, but in general, it's like a comfortable feeling. It's almost like being comfortable in your own skin, or being comfortable with your own desires and things like that, and kind of like forgiveness, doing things for you, like a sovereign energy. Absolutely love it. So I hope that you personally enjoy this Leo season as well. All right, so I'm just going to light this candle, set an intention, and this is actually a candle I made for the Leo season inspired candles. And we're going to set an intention for our reading here. All right, so I should have trimmed the wick a little bit now that I look at it. But on behalf of the highest and greatest good and in perfect comfort and alignment, it is my intention, and of course you can set your own intention, to be able to provide you with the most supportive reading that I can, for me to be able to channel the messages through, my subconscious, through the universe, through spirit, right? Into tangibility, into matter, into language, into word, into understanding that hopefully supports you in some way, right? And of course, if you have your own wish you'd like to set, or your own theme, or your own direction of how you'd like to utilize this little reading here, please, have a look at this flame and do that for yourself, okay? Excuse me. All right, I'm just going to set this right over here. Okay, so selecting our piles, we have 3, and I'm just going to show you each stone. So pile 1 is here. I hope this isn't backwards for you. Pile 1 is here, and this is a golden healer quartz. It's absolutely beautiful. This was a gift from someone who stumbled across my channel. They have a channel too. I believe it's called John's Corner, and this is a very special stone to me. Let me see if I can focus better for you. Pardon me. Okay, a golden healer quartz. And then another gift, actually. This beautiful, I think it was called a sunset or a sunrise aura, and it's a little geode kind of druzy from my friend Jen. I love it. I feel like I always use this in Leo season because it's just so, like, look at it, you know? Gorgeous. And forgive my hands, I've been kind of crafting. And then we have this, oh, sorry about that trafficking noise outside. This is a calligraphy stone, I believe it's known as. It's a type of jasper in a four-pointed sort of obelisk here, or tower. I hope it's in focus. All right, so stone 1, 2, and 3. How cool, right? And we will move on. Okay, so pile 1. You chose, and you know what, these cards right now are upright to you. I'm gonna have to turn them around to look at them myself, but just to present them this way first. You chose the Golden Healer Quartz, and this is a very special stone to me, as I said, because it was a gift and it actually has an interesting story behind it. I was like looking for one, I was looking on Etsy for one, and out of the blue in my email, John reached out to me and was like, hey, I want to send you some Golden Healer. And I was like, what the heck? Like, literally, like, what the heck? There's so many stones in the world and so many different, you know, it was just absolutely amazing. So this stone not only has these really amazing qualities of, oh my gosh, please Google it, because it really does have like a very extensive list. You might find something that I'm not articulating here, but I feel like it has just a very empowering energy. He sent me another one of these too that I work with all the time. I keep it in my pocket, I hold it in my hand, I use it for manifesting, I use it for, you know, being true to myself, for having confidence, for having motivation, for using my voice, for using my actions to be in alignment with my heart and soul, and just kind of staying aligned, I guess is a way to say it. But I think also there's this kind of because of the way that this came into my hands, just some kind of like really interesting connection between how things happen, like what, you know, like surprises, like ways that you never could have planned for. Like as I'm searching for this stone, I never could have planned like for someone to reach out and, you know, say that they wanted to give me a few of these, and it was just like, what? So kind of like divine happenstance, or things happening behind the scenes, and just letting you know, like, there really is no need for tunnel vision. You don't have to force things. Things can, if something's meant to be, like, it will come to be in ways you never could have planned for. Okay, so I am using 3 cards for our oracle, and I will reveal them a bit more properly to you. And then we have 4 for our tarot, but let's work with the oracle first. So this is actually the Angela Mary Magic tarot deck, the Moon BB deck, but I just love it as an oracle deck too. So I'm using that, the Holly Simple Fuzzy Prism oracle, and the Sonia Choquette Trust Your Vibes. So we have, oh my gosh, the sun and luminous with a sunflower and a bee. We have surrender. And we have listen to your heart. How perfect. All right, so yeah, how lovely. All right, so there's a message here of not just let me rephrase, of being seen, of kind of like opening the door and putting your foot out, stepping into the sun, of stretching, of going beyond or through, rather, whatever you felt like you might have been contained in. Let me try to see if I can articulate that better. It's almost like the unfurling of a leaf as it kind of stretches and reaches for the sun, or the way that the sunflower head will always face the sun, and the sun being, yes, like energy that you need, you know, it's like energy, it's like, but it's almost like it's reflected back to you through you, because you're the one facing the sun. Again, my words are all tripped up here. Let me see if I can say this better. It's about letting yourself receive, letting yourself be seen, letting yourself take action, letting yourself be organized, yes, letting yourself attract that which is beneficial to you, that which helps you, that which pollinates you. And there's a level here of surrender, because maybe there is something that you have been just holding, that has been holding you back from that, you know, and I can relate 100%. It's almost like surrender, like you can see, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for the traffic, but you can see like the arms up, like this isn't a surrender, like let me lay down and you know, just like let the wave like crash over me. It's almost like surrendering to like the truth of yourself, surrendering to the fact that like you are the main character right now. You know what I mean? Like you are the main character of your story. You are the one who dictates your life. You are the one who knows what's best for you. You know, you're the one that is guided, you know, through this whole journey. So it's like a surrender of like, of truth to yourself, or of letting things carry you, or letting things support you, or allowing yourself to have impact just by being you, and kind of just being comfortable with that, or learning to be comfortable with that. And then we have listen to your heart. You know, when this all just falls in line, the sun and the heart, I feel, are very much connected. I think in astrology, I think the moon and the heart are very connected. But when I say the sun and the heart, I mean, again, that personality of the soul. I think that, again, our souls are much bigger, much more expanded than what can really fully be experienced in a human body, you know, or in a day-to-day human experience and stuff. Sure, we can connect through meditation or dream or have really beautiful, euphoric almost experiences, but you know, then we got to go put gas in the car, or you know, we got to get to an appointment on time, or you know, we watch some TV that maybe isn't so great for us, or you know, not judging here, but you know what I'm trying to say, like, you know, we always come back to like the real world, and you know, what you want to have for dinner, and what you witness in the world that you like and you don't like, or you know, things that maybe don't sit so right with your soul here in this world. You know, the contrast, the lack, the, you know, the evil, you know, that can be here that we witness and stuff. So the heart, I feel like, guides us through our desires. I want to go on a trip. I want to build my own house. I want to get a dog. I want to call a friend. I want to have, I don't know, take the long way home today. Like, these, I think, are messages from the heart guiding your soul experience here in this realm. You know, the soul experience here in this realm is always connected to the bigger picture, but it's not really like we can access all of that at once, because we're processing this all through like human minds, and there's a bit of a box on that. Like, there's a bit of a I almost want to say facade, but like a necessary boundary that our mind needs to just be able to process things, you know? So tying this all back, this is so very Leo energy right now, and it goes so well with the stone that you chose. Just get out in the sun, you know? Like, get out in the sun, let yourself be seen, wear the dress, wear the shorts, wear the whatever, you know, be yourself, do your hair how you want, be yourself, honestly, just be yourself, and it's going to attract to you all of these like co-conspirators that help you along the way. Surrender to that, you know, surrender to your authenticity, and listen to your heart. It's guiding you, you know, along your way. And I'm sorry I was so tongue-tied as I was trying to explain all this, but I hope that resonates with you. I'm just gonna, I think I can leave them here, actually. I'm sorry that they're upside down to you. And then we have our 4 tarot. These are the Cosmic Tarot, I believe. And I chose them because they're quite dramatic, so very Leo. We have the High Priestess in reverse. Excuse me. We have the 4 of Wands in reverse. The 8 of Cups in reverse. Oh, wow. So many reverse. I'm glad they look upright to you, though, so you can hopefully see the images a little bit. But the High Priestess in reverse, to me, is a little bit about, because the High Priestess is so mysterious and so much about the unseen forces of the world. In reverse, this makes me think of how can I say this? Taking the mystery out of it. You know, I think reverse cards do have a whole bit of mystery, but when the card is quite mysterious already, it's almost like taking the mystery out of it, or like learning to ground or apply. When I say ground, I mean apply in a practical way, like bring it into your actual life. The lessons that you've been learning that have been from the more subtle realms or from the more subtle experiences, whether you're studying astrology or you've been practicing with like Hermetic principles or Hermetic Kabbalah, or just the principles of cause and effect, or you're playing with again, cause and effect, like action and reaction. This could, say, for an example, be in your relationships. Maybe you've noticed that whether you're in a relationship or not, if you're focused, again, I'm sorry, this is just an example. This could be career, this could be anything else, of course, but let's say you've noticed or you've had some kind of realization that your actions are causing these reactions in your partner, let's say, or someone else, you know, a different type of relationship, but let's just say partner so I can keep my words on track. And now you're playing with like, wow, what does a different action cause in them? Or if I'm wanting more from them and I'm withholding because I want them to give more, has that been working for me? No? Well, let me stop being like butthurt about it, and let me see if I bring a different energy to this relationship, what happens then? Like, it's almost like being a bit playful. And I don't mean in a manipulative way, but in a just understanding of cause and effect and the dynamics of relationships and how we can influence so much by not just what we bring, right? Maybe if you bring more nurturing or bring more complementary energy, or you bring more compassion or bringing more enthusiasm, what do you get back from that? Like, what do you see? And on the other hand, not just what you bring, but what your reactions are too. If someone is doing something really nice for you, and you've been, saying thank you, but not, and maybe being grateful, what happens if not only are you grateful, but you really like give it back to them in a different way of like really a bit more, like a bit more gratitude. Oh, thank you so much. I've actually been thinking about getting this for myself. I really wanted it, but like going bigger with it and then seeing like what happens then. Again, this like cause and effect reaction. And of course, this could be with how you use your money. This could be with, so many other things, how you manifest things, how you connect. I'm just using the relationship as an example here, but I just thought that would be a way that we can talk about it and ground it, right? Okay, so then we have the Four of Wands. There's something that's been inside yourself that's really stabilizing at this point. Like the dots are connecting, like the internal stars of your inner galaxy of creation are coming into alignment. You're really able now to see what you want to build and where you want to build it and what it's going to do. Like the foundation of your next creation, or the thing that's been in your mind as of recently, has like locked into place. It has like been confirmed for you in some way, shape, or form. I can't tell you what that is, only you know that, but there's been something on your mind, like, how am I going to make that happen? And this might have been something that's been playing out for years. This might be something that's new to you, right? It doesn't, so please, like, it brought in your, as you're reflecting on this, potentially like brought in the time frame as well. But something has locked into place. I'll give you a silly example. Well, not silly, but I have a leased car at this point, right? And my lease is up next year. And I've always, like, for the past few years, I've been like, oh, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do once this car, like, should I get another lease? What kind of car do I want to lease? Blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, it just made sense. I'm like, you know what? Next time, I'm going to buy a car, because I don't want to have to return my car in 3 years. I think it's kind of annoying. If I just pay 2 more years, I will have paid off a car. And then I will be able to maybe have no car payments for a little while. Like, it just kind of clicked for me. Like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. It might be much bigger than that for you. But just like that kind of thing, like something has made sense to you, or something like, again, it's an internal thing. It's been your own decision. Of course, maybe you've made this decision based on, things that you've come across or things you've learned, or, of course, but it's a decision you're making for yourself, or it's a a project that has been like playing for you, like playing in your mind, playing in your own inner world, but now you can see how you're going to do it, or what the first step is going to be, and how all the pieces are going to come together. So that's very exciting. Congratulations. We do have the Eight of Cups here again in reverse. I know it looks so bright for you, but I have to look at it myself, right? And I feel like you have gotten over something. I feel like you know, maybe this is all tied together. Again, you will be the judge of that, but you have gotten over something. You feel like you have taken a loss of some kind. You know, like there may have been some regret in the past, or this feeling of, you know, the things you should have done, or things you could have done that could have avoided, you know, this kind of blowing up a little, or, you know, losing a little bit here or there, or feeling like you lost a little here or there. So it just feels like you're kind of coming to terms with that. Again, this could be relationships, this could be friendships that, you know, you just kind of lost touch of, and now then maybe there was some guilt. Oh, I should have, you know, tried to keep better in touch. It's like, you know what, people come out of your life for a reason. It's okay, you know, like it seems almost like you have an awareness that you've made some space, or, you know, there's always another opportunity, there's always another chapter or door to pass through, or however you want to look at it. So it just feels like, you know, you've kind of just come to terms with that. You've kind of reconciled from a internal perspective, and it feels like you're ready to kind of move forward there. And as you move forward, it really does feel like a journey, like an adventure, like a new mountain to climb, a new place to set your compass to, you know, this new area. So here we have the Princess of Pentacles, but of course, again, in reverse. And this is, I do work with the Princess, of course, as the page, as a bit of a messenger of sorts, but in reverse, it makes me think of like an internal message of, where am I headed? You know, what's my next thing? What's the next thing that I want? If we're keeping with the theme of relationship here, and again, I'm sorry if you're not using this as a relationship, but just as an example, I've like learned, I'm reflecting on my cause and effect. I know what I want finally. Before, you know, last year this time I had no idea. My world was so chaotic, but I've learned so much, and I've played a little, and now I know what I want. And yes, you know, I wish I knew this sooner. Like maybe, yeah, maybe things would be a little different, or maybe I would have been by here. But you know what? Everything is good. Everything happens where it's meant to be. Now I'm ready to go on this journey for my heart, for my soul. I know I want this in a partnership, or I know I want my partnership to bring this out in me, or allow me to experience this within myself. I know I want XYZ moving forward. So again, please twist that in a way that feels better for you if it's not relationship, but it does feel like you've really had a lot of growth, a lot of learning going on here, a lot of reflection, and a lot of foundations being laid, a lot of like things clicking into place, and knowing what you have to do next, and sort of getting ready to start that. And it all comes down to as well, like listening to your heart, letting yourself be seen, letting your truth be at the forefront. You know, it's not to say that we don't necessarily compromise and things like that, of course, right? Especially in this relationship sort of scenario that I was using as a way to communicate here. But you know, what I'm saying, or what I'm getting tied up on here, I guess, is that, you know, sometimes when we are putting ourselves back out there, or we really stumbled there, putting ourselves back out there, or you know, considering how we want to make changes in a relationship, for that matter, we sort of almost adapt before we've even like met a new person, or if we're in a relationship, we start adapting. And you know, there's something really beautiful about that, but if it goes against your personal truth and what you've realized through this journey that you've been on, you know, I would say that you're gonna have to make your decisions that are just best for you, you know, best for you, and best for your truth, and best for your authenticity, and that speak truly from your heart to you. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed, and we'll move on to pile 2. Okay, pile 2, you chose this sweet little sunset, I believe, or sunrise. I think sunset, just looking at it. I mean, it does look much more sunset than sunrise to me. Aura treated little druzy geode. And this really makes me feel a connection to going to a safe space for yourself, or nurturing yourself, or I don't want to say a hermit necessarily, but geodes do have like a hermity sort of energy to me. Like sometimes, I know it sounds goofy, but sometimes when I meditate, I see myself like going up into the stars and like going into this like geode kind of like space, and just kind of going in and like letting my energy be revived, or like letting my spirit body like be energized by this meditation in this crystalline kind of enclosure. So there's something to be said here for kind of re-energizing, a little time for yourself, some self-care. And the sunset sort of theme makes me think, of course, of dusk and the in-between and the transits, the transitory stages between day and night, between conscious and unconscious, and just kind of walking the line a little bit between those spaces. If I could recommend anything to you, perhaps as you meditate, whether that's wrapped under your blankets, or just in a dark room or a dimly lit room, perhaps with some candles lit if you're able to just set intentions to work in the in-between, whatever that means for you. And with your eyes closed, move your eyes from side to side in a figure 8, like gently, don't strain your eyes, but in a figure 8. And then once that, for a little time, let's say a minute to 3 minutes, and then go backwards and go the other way, with the intention of harmonizing the equilibrium of your energies, of your consciousness, let's say, of your feminine and masculine, of your receptivity and your dominance. So, if I could make a recommendation, that's what it would be. All right, so these are presently upright to you, so I'm turning them upside down so that I can see them. And this is our Angela Mary Magic Moon BB Tarot that I just love to use as a oracle card. And then we have the Holly Simple Fuzzy Prism oracle. And then we have the Sonia Choquette Trust Your Vibes deck. And I'm just going to turn this upside down because I don't really read oracle in reverse. Okay, so we have the 10 of Blades, Disillusion. We have Share, and we have Remember to Breathe. So it does seem like, and even with the introduction to the stone, and that imbalance, right? That might, excuse me, sorry, I just want this like off my elbow so I don't knock them on the floor. You may have been feeling, right, like overwhelmed, mentally overwhelmed, mentally like waiting for a shoe to drop, or feeling like you are in almost like a minefield, navigating your thoughts, navigating the sharp edges, navigating things that are going to wound you. You may have been more presently aware of, more aware lately of your thoughts, and almost the battle of that, the battle of, I'm thinking about that again, or, oh, this isn't helping me, or, oh, the law of attraction says how, I'm attracting everything as I think, and now I'm thinking. So there may have been almost like a stress involved on top of the fact that, our thoughts can kind of be a challenge, right? If we're in like negative thought patterns or things like that, or our thoughts are disempowered or anything. But adding the awareness of the fact that this does have an impact on you is almost like even more stressful. It's better because we need to be aware of this, but it almost adds like potentially another stress to the situation, because like, wait, I shouldn't be thinking about this. Now I'm thinking about it even more. I don't want to think about it. But I am thinking about it. Like, you know what I mean? So if I could make a suggestion here, if this does resonate, there seems to be a need to communicate, to communicate what's been going on, whether that's, seeking therapy, reaching out to a friend. This could even be, if you don't have those kind of things, and of course, like therapy is always wonderful. I wouldn't say that there is a replacement for that necessarily. And I know that, it's not the most, it can be expensive. It could be kind of hard, right, to get into. So of course, there's always like programs and things I would recommend or anything. But, because we're talking here about like more of like the metaphysical, sharing here, it feels like letting yourself talk to someone so that you can validate and hear yourself talk, hear yourself work through these things, hear yourself share this with someone to just help yourself. Like, it's going to help you to communicate here, help you to get something off your chest. You might also, maybe you can even find like a buddy or a friend, or maybe even, hey, if you want to just talk in the comments and just, there's always people in the comments like being very helpful and being an ear, being, someone who maybe you don't know, but just like encourages you a little bit, Again, I don't mean to say that that's a replacement for therapy, but I hope you know what I'm trying to say here. There's something that's going to be helpful for you to communicate and share what's been going on with you. Share that you've been stressed out. This might be needing to communicate this to your partner. This might be a coworker. This might be a family member, or again, just a friend. But it's going to kind of get that energy moving for you. You're going to feel a lot better, a lot more grounded, as in prepared, like as in prepared for the next day or what your next step is or whatever. I would say though, please be mindful to not share with too many people if it's going to put you in this position of like a soapbox of being negative. And please forgive me, I don't mean to say that in a disrespectful way, but if you've been dealing with some, stress in your life, as humans do, right? Sometimes it's good to share with people who will still hold you in empowered places. That's the bottom line here. If you're sharing with someone who loves to gossip or loves to like that misery kind of thing, like I love my grandmother so much, but she's definitely loves to tell you like all the bad news, like, oh, did I tell you about this one? Did you hear what happened to this one? Like just like all this like bad news all the time and stuff. Like, that's why I call her Spooky Nanny, but like, and she loves spooky stuff. Anyway, I don't need to talk about my grandmother here, but there's just people who see you, and if you're going through it, they just keep holding you that like, oh, like it's almost like a pity or a pathetic sort of thing, or, oh yeah, you always have trouble, oh yeah, you're never lucky, oh, you never get a break. Like, don't share with those people when we're talking about this kind of stuff. You need to share with people who are just going to listen if that's what you need, or if you want feedback, if you want advice, clarify that with people. And if you want them to just listen, clarify that with them as well. But always remember that like it's best to choose who you share this kind of really personal or stressful stuff with, because you want people who are going to still empower you and still see you as the empowered individual that you are, even when you're going through a really tough time. There might be a group that you can join. There might be a meditation group. There might be a class. There might be a meetup even, for that matter, to kind of listen in and like hear how other people are working through their problems and stuff like that. That might be beneficial for you. And our really grounded message here over on the Sonia Choquette Trust Your Vibes deck is remember to breathe. Remember to connect with flow. Don't hold all this. Don't contain all this. Let it move through you. Sharing, as in communicating, is going to help with that as well. But even if you are alone in your bedroom or alone in a space or out in nature, simply connecting with that, with the concept of flow. Like, it is my intention to allow this to move through me. It is my intention not to contain, not to restrict, not to create tunnel vision, not to create hard expectation, not to be create hyper focus here. Is my intention to connect with flow and breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out, and just set that intention, work with that. You can place your receptive hand up. So I'm a righty, so my receptive hand is my left side. Place your receptive hand up. Place your dominant hand down, facing downward is what I mean, if you can tell by my hand positions. Breathe and connect with flow, receiving, releasing. And just know that, of course, like whatever mental stress you have been under, everything happens, you know, we all get hit with this at sometimes. I'm not trying to downplay what you've been experiencing, please know that, but just as a level of compassion and empathy, there are stressful times for all of us. There are great times for all of us. We just have to kind of know that these waves come in, these waves come out. Just trust and, you know, share, because it's going to help you. It all kind of connects. Communicating and breathing are all going to be very helpful for especially the mental issue, the mental stress is what I mean by that, you know, because they all kind of fall into the same element here. All right, and then these are our cosmic tarot cards. We have the Two of Wands in reverse, the Five of Wands upright, the Queen of Wands in reverse, and the Seven of Cups. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to move my foot. Okay, there we go. I'm so sorry. Wait. There we go. Sorry about that. I bumped the camera with my foot. Okay, so a lot of wands here, a lot of creative energy. It seems like you kind of come to a crossroads of sorts with something, some step you want to take, some doorway you want to go through. But right now, it's more of an internal awareness that you're ready to kind of move on, or you're ready to create something new. And the issue here is that you're sort of like battling yourself. You're sort of, you know, it might not be just yourself, but there's just a lot of stuff that's getting in your way, like too many cooks in the kitchen. That could be too many ideas for what you want to do, like battling against one another. This could be like, now that you have clarity, I have to clean up all the loose ends, or all the conflict or conflicting sort of projects that I have going on. If I know I want to, I don't know, travel, I have to get rid of some of these commitments or finish up some projects beforehand. So it's like, it's almost like the logistical conflict here, as well as the, you know, I'm going to go back to what I first said here, like kind of battling yourself, like getting out of your own way. Stop overcomplicating things for yourself. And you're kind of like learning to do that here. You know the direction you want to go, or what you want to put your energy into, but as you get started, you're still struggling with, you know, the need, the impulse, let's say, to overdo things. Like, I want to make a song, and as you are, it's like so many elements coming in. Oh, like I want guitar, I want this, I want this, I want a symphony, and it's just like overwhelming, kind of drowning it. So there's a message here of keeping things simple, you know, like letting yourself simplify things, letting yourself delegate things, letting yourself be commanding in a sense of your energy and where it goes and all of this. And that brings us to the Queen here. It is in reverse, but it, you know, Queen and King both have a level, of course, of like rulership, right? So the approach of hyper discipline is not really going to be what's most effective for you here. It needs to be a level of nurturing. I'm delegating this because I'm nurturing myself, not because I am the boss and I am, you know, here to give out work. I'm delegating this task because I need to prioritize myself and prioritize my creative energy. And if I'm doing every single thing, then I'm not able to create the way that I want to create, because I only have a finite amount of energy in a day. Like, as in, there's only so many hours in a day that I can get something done. You're infinite. I believe that you're infinite. But, you know, we're finite in this realm, you know, like, you gotta take a nap. You have a certain amount of resources you have to work with at any given time, right? So there's an internal awareness that you've come to. It feels like you know where you want to go, or you're at least like shaving it down. You know, you're you might have a little internal conflict going on, but it feels like things are starting to make more sense, starting to feel more simple internally. It's when you start the practice of it, like start the project or start making the changes, that you might be hyper overwhelming things. Okay, here's another example. I'm going to use like fitness and health as an example. I want to be stronger. I want to be more flexible. I want to take care of my body better. I feel like I haven't been taking care of my body as much. I'm going to count my calories, and I'm going to make sure that I get this much exercise a day, and I'm going to log all my things, and I'm going to work on my macros, and I'm going to like, it's like too much, you know, it's like overwhelming. How about simplify things? How can I nurture what I'm trying to do for myself here instead of overwhelming myself and basically leading to a point of like, you know, burnout basically is what's going to happen if we don't kind of simplify things a little bit. How can I nurture what I want to create for myself, which is a healthier lifestyle? I can, that, I am still going to want snacks. How can I get healthier snacks? Maybe I can change some of my recipes. Maybe I can just focus on eating, X amount of veggies a day and getting, a little bit of exercise every day, whether that's taking my dog for a longer walk or, meeting up with some friends and going for a hike, or things that are more nurturing, less rigid, less of a hyper discipline, more of a nurturing. I'm doing this because I love myself. I'm doing this because I'm loving my energy, and I'm going to, or I love cultivating this energy. I'm doing this because I recognize this as a seed that I need to nurture in myself for it to fully grow, versus this is how it has to be and let me be strict about it, and like a disciplinary kind of energy in terms of all of this. All right. And then we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. So I don't think that this is like a bad card, but in this deck, it kind of has like a weird energy. And it has an energy of just like not knowing what to do. And not knowing what to do so much that it's stressing you out. That you're like, oh, I don't even know. I don't even know what's going to make me happy. I don't even know what's going to make me happy. So if that's the case for you, and if this is maybe tied to that like mental stress that we've talked about with the oracle here, talk to somebody, listen to other people too, like hear other people's stories, talk to people, share what you've been thinking about. Even just hearing your own self-talk is so helpful for working through your thoughts. Hearing your own voice out loud gets it out of your head, and it gives you a chance to like reflect on it in a different way. Like you'll hear yourself, you'll hear your thoughts in a different way, because to communicate something, we have to like try our best to make sense, try to explain. So it's going to be really helpful to talk about stuff. The bottom line here, though, for if your mental anguish has been about like, I don't know what's right for me, I don't know where to start, and again, it's kind of like, it's almost like a back end kind of like thing that we have going on here, this like funny pattern type thing that I'm seeing, just in the way that the cards are laid out. I mean, just know that like there are no wrong choices, like if you're in a relationship and you don't think it's the right one for you, just you could just figure it out, it's okay. Like if you have to end the relationship, it's fine. If you want to continue with it, it's fine. Like if you feel like time is running out and you have to make some decision of your career or, where you're going to move to, just let things unfold, just breathe, connect. Like when we're too focused on all these, how will this play out? How will that play out? What should I do? What should I do? What do I want? Where should I put my energy? Blah, 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 like all this stuff. It really just creates this like tunnel vision. It creates this like stagnation, where we're not doing anything. Just take the day as it comes. Like see how you feel this day. See what's feeling right to you, see is there anything pressing? Is there like, if there was really something that the universe needed you to do right now, it would make it known to you. So stop making yourself feel like you're stuck in this place, like, and you have to choose something quickly. It's okay. Like things will present themselves. Just focus on yourself. Focus on, clearing up a little bit of maybe what's been going on, nurturing things, focusing on, you know, the good, focusing on things that make you happy, listening to more upbeat music, like listening to things that are more nourishing for yourself, like nourishing for your soul, for your mind, right? Nothing too harsh, nothing, forgive me for saying this here, but I would say the word that came to mind was like masculine, and I don't mean that in a like genderized way in terms of people, but what I mean more is like aggressive, you know? Let yourself just kind of like flow, like listen to a little Bjork, you know, like go with some Bjork, go with some, sorry, there's like a dog barking outside. I'm like waiting to see if Bomba's gonna bark. Listen to some music that doesn't have any words to it, you know, like Home, or I don't know, I'm trying to think. Some like even like trance music or something, some Zombies in Miami or something. Just like let yourself flow and like move around, move your body a little bit, and just know that like if there was a hard decision pressing, it would be very evident to you. So stop making yourself feel this way, you know, with respect, of course. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope this resonated with you, and we will move on to pile number 3. Okay, pile 3, you chose the Calligraphy stone. This is a really interesting stone. It is a jasper, but it is a mix of fossils. So you can, I'm so sorry, the light isn't ideal here today. You can see the formation, or is this formations? What would you call this? Oh my gosh. The design, you know, the details here a little bit of these little fossils coming together, making this like dense, heavy, really beautiful jasper. And this is a stone that I really think is wonderful to work with when you're dealing with like ancestry things to do with your ancestors, with your lineage. That could be your, you know, like I have a Reiki lineage, right? I have like a Reiki family, but I also have my blood family, and I also have my blood family behind me, and I have my blood family before me, like my past, my parents and beyond, and before me, my son, and, you know, from there. So what the message that I feel brought up to share regarding this is to, if you have been working with your ancestors, or you've been contemplating it, or you've been reflecting on how your childhood or how your parents' traumas have impacted you, first of all, much love to you, you know, sending you a hug right now. But just know that like you can't control people, you know, you can't control their choices, you can't control the type of people that they were, and you can control your circumstances when you're a child, but everything you do for yourself going forward, even if, you know, you're cut off from your family, let's say, or something, as a more extreme example, perhaps, or, you know, I don't want to call it extreme. I think a lot of us have to do that. I certainly have to do that. But just know and trust that whatever you do for yourself heals through time and space, you know, empowers through time and space, empowers your bloodline, empowers your ancestry and your connection. And, you know, what's most important is that you do what you need to do for you, you do what's right for you, and, you know, you do what empowers you going forward. And that is enough, you know, like if you can't connect with the ancestry kind of stuff, that is enough. To do what's right for you is still, you still hold that connection, okay? I'm just going to place that here. All right, and I'm going to turn these, oh wait, so this is upright for you right now. I'm going to turn it around for me. We have the Angelo Mary Magic Moon BB Tarot that I like to use as an oracle. We have the Holly Simple Fuzzy Prism Oracle that I like to use, or excuse me, that is an oracle. And we have the Sonia Choquette Trust Your Vibes Oracle. And this is a tarot deck, but I just really love it as an oracle card deck. And then we have the Cosmic Tarot. I'm just going to scooch these over here for now, or here, so I don't bump them with my elbow. All right, so we have the Three of Wands, the Three of Lasers here, and we have Art Spell. So there's an encouragement here to use your body, you know, use your fingers, or a dance, or a painting or crafting of some kind, a video, making a video, a poem, a short story, but to utilize the highly potent, like highly potent potency of art and intention setting, or art and empowering, or art and communicating to the universe, So there's something here of a beginning. There's something here of not even a beginning, but a coming together to create a new beginning, like a parent-child sort of situation. The like holy three or whatever. The the third eye and the two eye. Yeah, I don't know. Like we can kind of look at it in a lot of different ways, right? But I love the suggestion of movement here, or of creation here. So whatever you've been manifesting, or whatever you have kind of like, how can I say this? Like whatever you feel is being born from your present circumstances, whether it's you and a partner and like the relationship, or you and, your connection to yourself in that relationship, or anything, the power of 3 here, and bring it into some kind of spell for yourself, some kind of deliberate intention setting that you use or you connect with through a medium of art. Dancing, this can be fashion, this could be body adornment, this could be the way you use jewelry to decorate yourself, this could be creating jewelry for yourself, this could be painting, this could be drawing, this could be writing, again, a poem, a haiku, a short story of some kind, but really bringing and letting like the magic flow through your creativity and through the tangible expression of that through whatever medium you choose to utilize it that way, to connect with it that way. We also have the dream card here, and I just love this card. I think it's just rad, and it really, in this time, as I'm looking at it, makes me think of like a ladder, like ascending, of connecting with the refinement of some sort of process or energy here. So while the initial card does suggest a tangible connection to art, and I would agree with that, I think that would be important. The second 2 cards are a bit more in the subtle realms, a bit more of a finer, subtler energy here. We have dream and we have meditate. So whatever this spell is that you're working on, or that whatever intention it is that you'd like to set for yourself, there's an encouragement to work in the subtle realms of it as well. Ground it through. This even kind of brings up this concept of earth, solid, subtle, astral, and higher energy of like soul, or like pure energy, pure God energy, or universal energy. So in the dream space, and we could say the meditative space too, but just to kind of keep, again, like the conversation going, in the dream space, in the dream body, most of the time, we're still ourselves. We still see ourselves in experiences that, they might be things that never could have happened because they're dreamlike, and, there could be things that are like flying, like we're not probably going to fly in our meat sacks here, right? But it's still you having that flying experience. So there's a releasing of there's a release in terms of like what could happen, but most of the time we're still us in those experiences. Sometimes we have dreams that we're other people, but for the most part, I think we'd all say we have dreams that it's us, and maybe we're seeing people that we know in our lives, or maybe we're in places that don't really look familiar but feel familiar. We recognize them. So we have here this like subtle body, right? The subtle body connection. And then we have the ascension of that. We have the meditative state that we can deliberately get into, where we take ourselves on a journey to, for example, not every meditation is like this, but there are meditations we can use, or intentions we can set for meditations to help us connect with the highest level of the highest that we're able to access at any given point of like spirit or of intelligence or of downloading codes, like downloading codes. So what I'm trying to say here, or like just like messages coming through like that feel divinely given to us, some kind of aha, some kind of, or just like this feeling of oneness, this feeling of connection. So we have tangible, we have the self, but in a more playful space, a more freed space, beyond the limitations of the physical. And then we have the opportunity to connect with the even higher forms of that, because in our dream body, we're still, for the most part, connected to like our stress of the day. So, if you had a interaction, you might kind of have that interaction play out in your dream space because it's still impacting you. Okay, so what does this all mean? This is an encouragement to work in these three realms. It's an encouragement to set intentions as you practice this ritual or as you practice this intention setting, to invite your dream body, invite your spirit body, let's say, to connect in such a way, or even just see yourself. Set an intention to command your consciousness to shift to your subtle body and see yourself. Let's say dance, right? For like the art spell, right? Let's say you are manifesting abundance in this ritual. And as you're moving and you're dancing and you're like moving your arms and like all this stuff in ways that are sort of like interpretive dance to pull in all that you need and to share, because you're so abundant, you're sharing as well, right? I know I'm being very simple here, but what can I do? I'm not going to dance for you right here. And then maybe take a moment and tune in and do that in your dream space, or do that in rather your astral form, your subtle consciousness. So sit and see yourself dancing. See yourself now reaching deep into the earth, pulling up this abundance, receiving it for yourself and sharing it. Or see and connect with this rainfall falling down on you, this abundance, big lightning crashing into you, empowering your subtle body. And then moving over to a meditation where you connect with the abundant nature of the universe, the limitlessness, the vastness of space, the anything that you could probably have imagined is playing out in some way, right? Like the bigger picture, or I'm not saying this right. I'm trying to like ground this. Let me see if I can. But taking it to this place of like the universal perspective as best as you can, and just seeing how abundant everything is. There is never a lack of anything from a universal perspective. It exists in all ways, in all times. And if you are the universe, you have it all, right? So kind of like walking through all that. Ooh, that's a mouthful. Thanks for listening. Okay, so this is the Cosmic Tarot because it is pretty dramatic and we're in Leo season. All right, so we have the Magician, we have the Lovers, the King of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles. Interesting. All right, so Magician is reminding you of, this is really interesting here that we've had. I think this was like very interesting for me, this oracle thing. It's never really come out like that before, or I've never like felt it that way before. And the Magician sort of like connects with that again. It connects with like the magic of it all. You might actually feel guided to like study some like actual magic here. There's actually a book, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the author, but it's where I learned the like three kind of connecting points from. I want to say it's called like the Sorcerer's Secrets, or like something like that. I'm so sorry. I'll have to try to find the title through in all my books and share it with you. But if studying magic isn't really what you're about, it could be connecting to the elements here, pulling in as you do your dance or paint or craft or create, pulling in the elements, whether that's tangible, fire, smoke, fire, air, crystal, rock, earth, and water, right? Or it could be, let me think, how can I say this better? Like the tools in some way, like doing a dance or drawing a picture where all these things are here, all these tools are present, the cup or the chalice, the pentacle or coin, the sword, the wand, right? Or, just as a reminder that like you have it all. Like you are the universe. You have it all. You have all of these properties. You are the universe experiencing itself. You are infinity. You are timelessness peering through a window of time here in this experience. It's really fascinating to connect in those ways. And just remember like how connected you are. Like you have it all. You have all the tools. You are all the elements. The Lovers is an interesting card to get during this time as well. I mean, this could be signifying that like you are presently experiencing some kind of love in your life, some kind of compatibility, some recognition of what love is like experienced through that of another. Of course, this is like the Lovers, they're kissing, but this could be something that you experience in a very platonic way, right, with a friendship, or with a parent-child relationship as well, like just love in general, just like experiencing what universal love could be like, or what unconditional love could be like, because you can see how it is, as I pet my dog, and it's again, like obviously like a platonic kind of situation. But if you don't necessarily not jumping out at you that like you're experiencing something like that, this could be the encouragement to focus and bring this all in. It really is all about love, right? Like the universal, the energy of the universe is abundant in love, like the universe does love you. We have so many like nuanced things that kind of influence us and like change, and like there's free will here, so yeah, people can manipulate us and all this stuff, but from a higher perspective beyond that of this like dense reality here, it's love, it's abundance, it's limitlessness, and sometimes the moments that we have to experience that are in, gazing in, your dog's eyes, your cat's eyes, your child's eyes, your partner's eyes, your parents' eyes, your grandparents' eyes, like, and just that like kind of like connectedness, right? Gosh, I'm not really saying that so great, but I hope that it does resonate with you. And just like finding that, it can be looking in the mirror, it can be the love that you have for yourself, but it really is like bringing out here in all of this work that you're doing, like please don't forget to invite that love, whether it is of a partner or whether it's just the connection of like universal love, like that is so much bigger of the partnership. In fact, this is a little of a sidebar here, but I hope that it resonates with whomever this is meant for. Sometimes I work with people who are, trying to conceive, and maybe they've been having a little bit of trouble, and, they're stressed out over it. And my suggestion is always to stop focusing so much on like the positive pregnancy reading, stop focusing on that. Focus on the beyond, focus on what kind of habits are you gonna, or not habits, what's the word? Oh my gosh, what's the word? You'll know what I'm trying to say. But like on Christmas Eve, like what's the tradition you're gonna create? Or what's the life lessons you wanna do, like really impress upon your children? Or what do you, like, how will you surprise them on their birthdays? Or what kind of car do you think you're going to get them if you're able to, right? But like, what kind of car do you see them driving when they're 17? What kind of movies do you guys think you're going to have? Like, what are you going to do on a rainy day? Like the real stuff, like the day in and day out stuff and the traditions and the things, like focus on that. That's a bigger magnet, and that will help you to stop focusing on the tunnel vision of like the conception, and focus on the magnetism of the bigger picture of how you want to feel. And it really just takes out a lot of the stress as well, in my humble opinion. So focusing, even if you're looking to manifest a partner, focusing on the abundance of universal love, how you love the smell of the fresh cut grass, or how you love the sound of the rain, or how there's so much, people love to get, I don't know, I almost wanted to say like that free Slurpee on Slurpee Day at 7-Eleven. Like there's so much to love, there's so much to love here. And if you focus on the bigger picture of it, it will help bring more love into your life, truly. And then we have the King of Cups, which is a very loving card, I want to say. It does have a little bit more of like a disciplinary, not rigidly, like not rigidly, but a little bit more of like a discipline of sorts, we could say, as opposed to the Queen. But this has like a very Cancerian energy, right? Like if you want to look, there's like a little crab, and he just has like a very gentle face, right? So here, the King of Cups here makes me think of like being a bit more deliberate, a little bit more disciplined in how you connect with love, how you rule love in your life, how you focus and build more love, build on love, build more love, build, more compassion, how you build this kingdom of compassion, of feeling, of emotion, of understanding the cause and effect that emotions kind of like, like the emotional effect and how an emotion can cause us to take an action, and how an action can cause an emotion in us as well. And just like really understanding all of that, and just like really an emotional maturity. And even sometimes, I don't want to say putting other people's needs before your own, but for a moment, like, yes, doing for the kingdom, even because it's your kingdom, even if it means, biting your tongue, to like, or not crashing someone, not like raining on someone's parade, the nature of reality to, ruin something for someone, like letting them have their feelings, like letting them have that joy, like not putting a pin in it on them too much. I'm sorry, I'm not really getting like a really clear reading with this one, but it's like being really understanding of like not only your own emotions, but like other people's emotions as well. And here we have, as at the end, the Five of Pentacles, which isn't really the most fun card here. This depiction as well is like quite depressing looking, but please don't like take that. I'm just like letting you know what it looks like. But it's kind of about like upheaval, like moving, some type of, I don't want to use the word chaos. Chaos is a bit of an extreme word here, but changing, like the changing of something tangible here, and the stress that can come with that. So perhaps as we get closer to September, closer to Virgo season, you might find yourself just grinding the gears a little bit. You might find yourself in a position where the next transit for you, as in, the next stage, like going back to school or like implementing some new type of, practice, or can I use the word like getting back to reality, like after summer break, like that's kind of like the image that I'm getting in my head. And, if you're kind of, what this is kind of coming up for me is, don't let the fact that like, yes, we might be, I know that, obviously I'm speaking of the Northern Hemisphere. Those of you in the Summer Hemisphere, forgive me here for saying it this way, but, as we're here in the Northern Hemisphere in summer, and we're like in our power, we're empowered, we're doing all this kind of magic stuff, we're reminded that like we are magicians, we have all the tools, like love is there, we can be mature about it, we can, act in ways that is, I want to say like mutually beneficial, not like raining on anyone's parade, not hogging everything, or feeling like we're hogging things, knowing there's so much love that can go around, and we're just like in a very empowered state overall. Don't worry so much about the bubble bursting. Don't worry so much about the reality check that comes after a really good and high experience. Don't worry about that, like stop, like if things need to change, like they will change, and that's okay. But there's no point in stressing yourself out, or my battery's gonna die. Sorry about that. My battery died, and then people are outside making noise, and then Bamba came by. So sorry. Let me wrap this up. We're almost done, I promise. And I'm so sorry for any noises happening beyond my control at this moment. But it just feels like you might have this feeling of like change coming that is almost preventing you from enjoying what an amazing season this can be for you. And for all of us. So don't worry so much about the fact of like, yeah, it's going to be, and I hear in my head like, the like back to life, back to reality. Like, don't worry about Monday, you know, like enjoy your weekend. Don't worry about the fact that like, yeah, we always have more work to do. Yeah, there's always going to be more change. Yeah, the rug does get pulled out from underneath us at time to time. Yeah, you know, the honeymoon phase doesn't last forever. Like all of this stuff. Stop like letting that interfere with where you're at and what you're dreaming about and what you're manifesting and how you're enjoying this experience and how you connect with love. Like, I don't want to say disregard reality, but like, it's going to come when it comes. Like, there's nothing you need to do to prepare for that. In fact, the more you enjoy and are empowered in this amazing thing that you have going on this season, if this resonates with you, the more prepared you'll be for when, you know, the season does change, you know, when the leaves do start turning and, you know, it is time to, you know, be inside more, or it is time to go back to school, or it is, you know, like all of that stuff, like that's going to come and that's okay. The world turns, you know, so don't let it interfere with how much joy you're connecting with during this season, because there's so much here, like really powerful stuff. And it's okay, you know, like it happens. Like it's the way it is. Don't worry about it too much. All right. Well, I hope that you enjoyed your reading. I hope that this resonated with you. Thank you so much. Well, let me clean up and then I'll say goodbye to everybody. All right. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to provide you with a little reading this season. I hope that it resonated with you. And I do, of course, have, there's so much background noise. I'm so sorry. I have to keep going. I do, of course, have a ASMR style session to support us during the season. This is just a little thing for fun that I like to do each month, but I know the sessions is mostly what people come to this channel for. So if you want to check that out, it will be, you know, uploaded soon or it's already up. Thank you so much again for allowing me to share a little piece of your path today. I send you so much love and appreciation from the bottom of my heart, and namaste.